Who is threatening the Social Security benefits you worked hard for all your life? Elon Musk. Who gets to look at the personal information the government has on you in its databases? Elon Musk. Or have Republicans turned in their game uniforms and become America on the march? This month, President Trump announced that the Gulf of Mexico is going to become the Gulf of America. Can Jimmy have some freedom fries with that? Who controls the computer systems that decide if you get your tax refund, disaster relief, or Medicare benefits? Elon. The Lincoln Project has come to the rescue again, with new brutal parody ads to save us. The Lincoln Project shreds Trump to pieces, and Donnie Diapers is having a meltdown. Watch until the end, because these ads expose Elon Musk, Trump's foreign policy, and a new hidden agenda about a big, beautiful canal. But if tropical isn't your thing, how about the land of cheer for Donald Trump and Elon Musk? We've got a new sheriff in town. The Lincoln Project just dropped another truth bomb on our favorite orange-tinted reality TV star turned politician. This time, they're serving up a steaming hot plate of President Musk with a side of puppet strings. And let me tell you, it's juicier than a well-done steak slathered in ketchup. Picture this. Elon Musk, the guy who thinks he can colonize Mars, but can't figure out how to keep his Twitter followers, playing puppet master with a life-size Trump doll. It's like a twisted version of Sesame Street. Only instead of learning our ABCs, we're watching democracy crumble in real time. The ad paints such a vivid picture, you can almost smell the hairspray and desperation. It suggests that while Trump is busy tweeting about Kofife and whatever else pops into his hamster wheel brain, Musk is the one really calling the shots. It's like finding out the Wizard of Oz is actually just a billionaire with a rocket fetish. But here's where it gets really interesting. The ad doesn't just stop at saying Musk is pulling Trump's strings. Oh no, it goes full conspiracy theory mode, suggesting that Musk's influence extends to major policy decisions. It's like finding out your drunk uncle, who always ruins Thanksgiving, is actually in charge of the country's nuclear codes. Can you imagine Trump's face as he watches this ad? It's probably turning more shades of orange than a sunset in a pollution-filled sky. The man who prides himself on being the ultimate deal-maker is being portrayed as nothing more than a glorified sock puppet for a guy who named his kid after a math equation. But let's get real for a second. While the ad is hilarious, it's also hitting on some uncomfortable truths. Musk has been known to stick his nose in government business more often than a kid with a finger-picking problem. Remember when he offered to fix Flint's water crisis? Or when he tried to insert himself into the Thai cave rescue? The guy's got a savior complex bigger than Trump's ego. And that's saying something. The ad cleverly connects the dots between Trump's actions and Musk's interests. It's like playing Connect the Dots, except instead of a cute puppy, the picture that emerges is of two megalomaniacs in a political bromance threatening to redefine American democracy. But here's the kicker. What if voters actually start to realize they've been had? Imagine the collective "oh crap" moment when people realize their vote for Trump might as well have been a vote for Musk. It's like ordering a Big Mac and finding out you're actually eating Soylent Green. The Lincoln Project isn't pulling any punches with this one. They're exposing the Trump-Musk bromance for what it really is, a match made in ego heaven, with the American people left holding the bill. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion, only the car is made of solid gold and has MAGA spray painted on the side. Well, folks, it looks like the Lincoln Project is at it again, and this time they're turning the GOP into a high school pep squad. Their new ad, Sidelines, is serving up a heaping helping of political satire with a side of pom-poms. Who knew Republicans could rock a cheer uniform? Remember when the Republican Party was all about being difference makers? Yeah, me neither. But apparently, the Lincoln Project does. And they're not letting the GOP forget it. In this ad, they've swapped out power suits for pleated skirts and megaphones. It's like Bring It On, Washington edition. Only with fewer backflips and more backpedaling. The ad paints a picture of Republicans as less about movers and shakers and more about noisemakers. They've gone from writing laws to writing cheers. And boy, are some of these zingers real head scratchers. One Republican cheerleader enthusiastically shouts, "He's doing a lot by executive authority, which we applaud." Wow, nothing says checks and balances like blind support for executive overreach. Am I right? But wait, there's more. Another GOP pom-pom waver gushes. His stamina is unbelievable. Geez, save some drool for the rest of us guys. It's like they're auditioning for the role of sycophant number 1 in the school play. Can't you just picture these politicians practicing their cheers in front of the mirror? Give me a T, give me an R, give me a, what's that spell? Blind loyalty. The Lincoln Project isn't holding back with this one. They're showcasing how the once mighty GOP has transformed into Trump's personal fan club, complete with matching t-shirts and foam fingers. It's like watching a nature documentary where proud lions turn into purring house cats. In the Super Bowl of politics, you know where to find the Republicans. On the sidelines, cheering. The ad declares it loud and clear. Ouch. That's gotta sting more than a face full of orange spray tan. But here's the real kicker. This isn't just some exaggerated parody. These quotes are real, folks. Real Republicans said these things about Trump. It's like they're competing for the most embarrassing display of adoration award. And let me tell you, the competition is fierce. Now, you might be wondering, how are Republican voters going to react to seeing their representatives reduced to human pom-poms? Well, I'm no psychic, but I'm guessing it's not going to be pretty. It's one thing to support your party's leader. It's another to look like you're auditioning for Trump's Got Talent. The ad effectively turns the GOP's sycophancy into a punchline. And it's a joke that might leave a bitter aftertaste for some Republican voters. After all, they elected these folks to be lawmakers, not cheerleaders. It's like hiring a bodyguard and finding out they're actually a professional hugger. Sure, they're supportive, but that's not exactly what you signed up for, is it? Well, folks, it looks like our favorite orange-tinted tweeter is at it again. Remember when presidents used to respond to criticism with dignified silence? Yeah, Trump doesn't either. His latest Twitter tantrum might just be his masterpiece of meltdowns. And boy, is it a doozy. Grumpy Trumpy's thumbs are working overtime. And not because he's trying to beat his high score in Angry Birds. Nope. He's furiously tapping away at his phone, probably pacing around Mar-a-Lago in his bathrobe, muttering fake news under his breath. It's like watching a toddler have a meltdown in the cereal aisle. Except this toddler has nuclear codes. Trump's initial reaction to the Lincoln Project's ads was about as subtle as a rhino in a china shop. He started with his usual bravado. You know the classic "I'm rubber," your glue defense that worked so well for him in elementary school. But as the ads kept coming, his tweets started sounding less like a fearless leader and more like a kid who just found out Santa isn't real. One of his tweets read, "The Lincoln Project is a disgrace to Honest Abe. Wow, Donnie Diapers, tell us how you really feel." I'm sure Abraham Lincoln is rolling in his grave, not because of the Lincoln Project, but because someone thought it was a good idea to name anything after him in the 21st century. But wait, it gets better. In another tweet, Trump proclaimed, "These losers couldn't run a lemonade stand," which is ironic coming from a guy who managed to bankrupt a casino. I mean, that's like setting fire to a fish tank. It takes a special kind of talent to pull that off. The more Trump tweets, the more he actually reinforces the ad's message. It's like he's reading from a script titled, "How to Prove Your Critics Right," in 280 characters or less. Every caps-locked word, every exclamation point, every misspelled covfeff just gives the Lincoln Project more ammo. It's the political equivalent of bringing a knife to a gunfight. Except Trump's knife is made of Play-Doh, and he's wearing it as a hat. And here's the real punchline. Trump's Twitter tirade is giving these ads more publicity than they could have ever dreamed of. It's like he's their unpaid and unhinged marketing intern. Every time he tweets, more people rush to watch the ads. It's the Streisand effect in action, folks. For those who don't know, that's when trying to hide or censor something only makes it more popular. Kind of like telling a kid not to eat cookies makes them want cookies even more. Except in this case, the kid is 74 years old, and the cookies are brutal attack ads. But how might Trump's meltdown affect his supporters' views? Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Some of his die-hard fans are probably cheering him on, thinking, "Yeah, you tell him, Donald." But for others, this might be the moment they realize they've been cheering for the wrong team all along. It's like suddenly noticing that the emperor isn't just naked. He's also covered in orange spray tan and throwing a hissy fit. All right, folks, it's time to talk about the Streisand effect. No, it's not Barbara's latest album or a new line of sequined pantsuits. It's what happens when someone tries to hide something and ends up making it even more famous. And boy, oh boy, is Trump giving us a masterclass in how to make this happen. Remember when your mom told you to just ignore the bullies and they'd go away? Well, it seems like Trump missed that lesson in kindergarten. His reaction to these Lincoln Project ads is like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. And boy, is it getting toasty in here. How hot? Well, let's just say Trump is turning up the heat on himself more than a faulty Mar-a-Lago thermostat. Lago tanning bed. So what exactly is going on here? Well, our grumpy Trumpy is throwing a Twitter tantrum that would make a 2-year-old say, "Dude, chill." He's tweeting faster than a caffeinated squirrel, all in an attempt to shut down these pesky ads. But here's the kicker. It's backfiring harder than a rusty old pickup truck. You see, every time Trump tweets about these ads, he's basically giving them a free Super Bowl commercial slot. It's like he's standing on top of Trump Tower with a megaphone, shouting, "Hey everyone, look at these ads that are making fun of me. Aren't they terrible? You should definitely not watch them." And guess what? People do. They rush to watch the ads faster than Trump rushes to a McDonald's drive-thru. The numbers don't lie, folks. Since Trump started his Twitter tirade, views of the Lincoln Project ads have skyrocketed. More vertical than Trump's hair on a windy day. People who had never even heard of the Lincoln Project are now binge-watching their ads, like it's the latest Netflix series. It's like Trump's thumbs have a direct line to the Lincoln Project's marketing department. Every caps lock rant is basically free advertising at this point. The Lincoln Project should probably send Trump a fruit basket, or maybe a year's supply of spray tan, as a thank you gift. But it's not just about the views. Trump's meltdown is actually helping spread the Lincoln Project's message further than they could have ever imagined. It's like he's taking their words, putting them in a cannon, and blasting them across the internet. Social media is buzzing. News channels are replaying the ads, and late-night hosts are having a field day. It's the political equivalent of going viral, and Trump is patient zero. Picture this. Trump's face as red as a tomato, steam coming out of his ears like an angry cartoon character, while these ads play on repeat in the background. It's like a scene from a political satire movie, except it's happening in real life. And the more he fumes, the more people tune in to see what all the fuss is about. But here's the real kicker. This whole debacle might have some serious long-term effects on Trump's image. Every time he loses his cool over these ads, he's basically confirming what they're saying about him. It's like he's standing up and yelling, "You're right, I am thin-skinned and easily manipulated." Not exactly the strong leader image he's trying to project, is it? In the end, Trump's anger has turned into the best free advertising the Lincoln Project could have ever hoped for. It's like they've managed to rent space in Trump's head, and he's paying them for the privilege. Who knew that the best way to spread a message critical of Trump was to just let Trump be Trump? Looks like the Lincoln Project isn't done playing whack-a-mole with Trump's ego. These political pranksters are gearing up for their next big move, and boy, are people buzzing about it. It's like waiting for the next episode of your favorite political sitcom, except this one has real-world consequences. So, what's cooking in the Lincoln Project's kitchen of political mischief? Well, word on the street is they're not done poking fun at the Trump-Musk bromance. Imagine a bunch of clever folks sitting around a table, surrounded by walls plastered with memes and Trump quotes, trying to figure out how to turn these two into even bigger caricatures. It's like a political Looney Tunes, but with higher stakes. But here's where it gets interesting. The Lincoln Project isn't just about making us laugh at Trump's expense, though that's a pretty fun side effect. They're cooking up something bigger. These strategists are planning to shine a spotlight on how Trump's cozying up to billionaires affects regular folks like you and me. It's like they're saying, "Hey America, while you're busy working your 9 to 5, guess who's pulling the strings in Washington? And get this, they're not just targeting Trump. The whole GOP is in their crosshairs. Remember how they turned Republicans into cheerleaders? Well, they're just getting started. They're like political Picassos, turning these figures into such ridiculous caricatures that you can't help but see them differently. It's like they're holding up a funhouse mirror to the GOP. And boy, is the reflection unflattering. But here's where things might get really wild.